What is going on, everybody? My name is Conor. Welcome to another week of Hero Zero. This is the Hero Zero podcast, and we're back again talking all the weeks. Nothing, Shaun. It's superhero talk.
What? I was led to believe we will be talking about something today.
We are talking one comic book character, as we do every single week.
Oh, he's back on track.
Back on track. I lost it there for a second. We talk about their good points, their bad points, and we just kind of have a bit of a general discussion about a certain character that they don't normally get the fanfare.
The attention they deserve, maybe.
So, who did you do last week, Shaun?
I did Richard Rider, aka Nova.
Exactly, and the week before that I did Madame Fatale, the greatest hero of all time.
That has ever exist.
Exactly. So this week we are doing a certain character that is, you might hear that it's kind of a combination of two different characters.
Oh.
One, Catman.
Catman.
It's very close to something else.
Yes.
But it's Catman.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll be on board.
Catman first appeared. Have you ever heard of Catman, by the way?
I think in Fairly Odd Parents, Adam West plays Catman.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Catman first appeared in Detective Comics January 1963, and he was created by Bill Finger and Jim Mooney.
Bill Finger, the Batman.
He's creator of Batman, along with Bob Kane.
Seems similar.
No, almost very similar. What? B, what's the next letter?
Oh, Kill Finger.
No, Bill. So, he was actually created during the 60s when the Batman 60 show was out.
Oh,
and they
okay.
were camping the shit out of Batman.
Everyone loved campy Batman.
And so they were coming up with all these really campy heroes, and the hero they came up with was one Catman, was another one of these heroes.
But what does Catman do?
So, good one. Thomas Blake was the product of a rich, sadistic father and an actress turned trophy wife mother. His father was obsessed with grooming Thomas to be a man and constantly derided him for being too close to his mother.
Best way to raise your son.
Absolutely.
Talk down to him all the time.
Talk shit.
You little prick. What are you, a dickhead or something?
It's my birthday. His father wanted a man and not a mama's boy, Shaun. The real target of his father's abuse, however, was his mother.
Oh no.
Turns out he's not just a bad guy to his son. This guy's not a very nice man to his wife either.
Probably not to anyone.
When Thomas was 9 years old, she had enough and intended to leave, but Thomas's father would not allow it.
Seemed a third decision.
Yeah. Thomas grabbed a hunting rifle to come to her aid. So he's like, his mother's in danger.
I will kill anyone, especially my bastard of a father.
But his father caused the gun to go off and shoot his mother in the chest.
Oh no.
Yes.
So who really killed his mother?
Exactly.
It was him. It was the child's fault.
I was going to say something about guns, but we're not going to get into that. As his father
I don't like guns.
That's a strong stance. As his father phoned the police to turn him in for the murder, Thomas...
Sorry, the father is...
Yeah, no, he's a good guy.
What dickhead?
What are you talking about? He murdered her.
He was trying to take slaps at his wife.
Yeah.
And
his kid just turned up and shot his... How dare you shoot my wife that I was about to kill anyway? You took my kill.
You took my kill.
It's like Call of Duty.
It's a legitimate strategy.
As his father phoned the police to turn him in for the murder, Thomas then stabbed him with a hunting knife and let his father bleed out.
Thomas is having a busy day.
Tom has now killed his mother, not his mother, his father, and his mother is also dead. So he started off as a Joe character, then they added some grit.
Bit of grit.
Despite everything, Tom Blake grew up to become very much like his father. He too became a world-famous trapper of jungle cats, but he turned to a life of crime because he had grown bored with hunting and had depleted most of his fortune. So he spent his time hunting.
Yeah, okay. And just, whining and dining.
Kind of like maybe a hunter from Marvel.
Let's not speak of that episode.
Absolutely not the worst episode ever. Nobody's craving that. He became a burglar who committed his crimes in a catsuit made out of an ancient African cloth he believed to give him a cat's 9 lives.
And did it? Or was it just an expensive piece of fabric?
So, his costume was modelled after Catwoman's disguise, obviously. Catwoman helped Batman catch the criminal because she was not pleased with him copying her costume.
And MO.
It was the 60s, so she's like, he's dressed like me, let's get him.
One of us is going to have to change.
The two costumes, they both turned up to the party. Oh no.
God.
This is embarrassing.
This is awkward.
The two costume criminals would have a competitive love-hate relationship for many years afterwards, which included Selina Kyle being wrongly accused for Catman's crimes at least once.
Oh.
His weapons of choice was a cat o' nine tails, which is a multi-tailed whip.
Kinky.
Very kinky. So he was very quickly defeated by Batman.
Almost immediately.
Absolutely, almost like just... He didn't last very long. He was just completely gone, right? So he soon returned to Gotham with a new criminal plan. During his time, he managed to recruit Batwoman, and Blake provided her with a Catwoman costume, which resembled his own, the Catman outfit.
Okay,
right? So,
yes.
I've been flying through this.
Yeah.
But Catman was raised terribly.
Yeah.
He became a criminal. Then
And
he's
a
like, I'm
murderer.
going to test myself. Okay, the murder thing came later. That was a very dark, gritty thing.
Right.
But at the start, he was a joke.
Okay.
And he came to Gotham and he was easily defeated. Very much like the Condiment King and all that stuff, right?
Yes.
Just a joke character. But now he's back, right? Now they're still writing him like an idiot, but that's what can you do?
Yeah.
So he turns up and he gets Catwoman on his side. However, this was a mistake on Blake's part, as Catwoman led Batman and Robin to his hideout, and he was forced to retreat on the boat, right?
Right.
And which crashed on the sea, apparently killing him.
Apparently.
That's a good word.
And that was the end of your report.
It was later revealed the reason why Catman managed to survive. He always gets like blown up,
Yeah.
or like shot or
They
falls
never
off,
find a body.
but they never find them. Every appearance he ever made.
It's that African cloth.
It was later revealed that the reason why Catman managed to survive those deadly accidents was because part of his catsuit was made out of a magical cloth that granted the wearer 9 lives, just like a cat.
Very on brand.
Very on brand.
That's a lot to just...
9.
Yeah, and just to ask a comic reader to accept that. I've been like, it's a fucking cloth.
He can be killed 9 times. It was the 60s though.
I imagine he's been killed more than 9 times though.
Yeah, but if he's that dumb,
Yeah.
he just ends up losing.
He'd just walk into traffic.
When Catman learned of this, he used it to his advantage, which you would do.
You would.
So escaping from Batman and Robin by exposing his life, he basically just would always just like jump off a building and then he'd just like land, die, and then walk it off.
Jesus.
And then run away.
Well, like, how does it work? Does he wake up in bed? Does he...
No, I think he just like wakes up wherever he landed.
So
or if he exploded or something.
What if he's tied at the bottom of the ocean? Would that happen 9 times and
that's
then
a
he'd
good
die
point.
for real?
See, I don't think there was much science to it.
I want that in my 60s comic books.
What, they actually read between the lines?
Yeah, or just that they, level out some level of logic.
Nah, don't worry about it. So Catwoman was blamed for his crimes. He returned to Gotham, and initially Catwoman was of course blamed. The truth was eventually discovered by Catwoman and Batman, who tracked down Catman to his lair. Right?
The cat lair.
The cat lair. He also has a cat car and cat batarangs, but we're not going to get into that.
Catarangs,
Catarangs.
surely.
I'm surely they're called catarangs.
And he has cataracts. He can't see very well.
He's always walking into things. That's why he's always walking off mountains. And Catman used a deadly trap to eliminate them while he travelled to Greece to sell the stolen goods in return for his own private island. So he stole some goods. Catwoman and Batman are on his tail. He sets a trap for them.
Catches them.
A cat catches them.
Good.
Yeah. And then he's going to go buy his own private island with the money he makes.
Surely
right?
that's going to draw some attention to him.
Yes. Which he planned to turn into a criminal haven and retreat. His plans were foiled by one Batman and Catwoman again.
Oh no.
Who tracked him down and caused his apparent demise again.
Just hang around for an hour. Until he comes back.
Although, because of the magical properties of his suit, Catman survived again.
Good God.
So, this happens repeatedly. He just keeps coming back to Gotham.
Yeah.
He sets a load of traps, and Catwoman and Batman beat him. Repeatedly. Over and over and over.
That's how his stories go.
And he was basically a joke, right?
Yeah.
Later on, after a long absence, I mean like 40 years.
So we're in the 2000s now.
So this was the 60s. No, he returned in the 90s, like 93, I think.
Okay.
At first. So after long as Catman resurfaced when his pet tiger escaped and started killing people in Gotham.
Why does he have a pet tiger? Cats, I suppose.
Look, come on now. Although Catman tried to take the tiger back, he took the chance to confront Batman, forcing him to fight the animal. So he's like, fight my tiger.
Bet you can't. Bet you a tenner.
I double dog dare you.
Cat dare
double dog cat dare you, yeah, you're right. Batman managed to capture the tiger, and Catman was attacked by Catwoman.
This is the Bat Tiger now.
Who sought to clear her name after she was blamed for Catman's crimes again, right?
Sensing a theme here.
It's very much a theme, right? Despite his utter defeat, Catman was not captured. He would usually spend time in Blackgate Penitentiary. Eventually Blake left the villain game and became a couch potato.
Oh, he just hangs around now.
So what they did was, he was a joke for like 40 years. And what they did was, because he never turned up,
yeah,
he would just turn up like once every 7 years and just be defeated in that issue.
Right.
He'd be like, you'll never get me. Oh, I'm caught. Oh no, hang on, I'm dead.
I've returned.
Oh, I'm dead again. Oh, well, I only have 9 appearances before like I can't go back anymore.
I can't die every time.
Yeah.
So 1 a decade.
So, as I said, after several particularly humiliating run-ins with the Green Arrow, however, he decided to shape up again. So he reappears in, this is the late 90s, and he came up and he's like really fat. And
Right.
Green Arrow and Roy Harper just beat the shit out of him.
Because they would.
Because they're bad guys.
They're
right?
bullies.
They're picking on him, right? They discover him, and he's just in his bathrobe, and he's just like, he's massive.
He's like the dude in Lebowski.
He's just like looking at them like, what? And
What are you going to
beat
do?
the shit out of him because it's like, it's Catman.
He's not posing a
The
threat right
greatest
now.
criminal Gotham has ever seen.
The only man Batman could never kill.
7 times. However, he decided to shape up again.
Oh,
After all, he had
montage.
and this is where Catman gets interesting. Up until this point, not much to him.
Yeah.
He actually becomes a very interesting and likeable character, because he decides to shape up again, and he has recently decided to return to his old community after many years of training in Africa. He's also no longer exclusively a villain, working with both heroes and villains as a one-and-off member of the Secret Six. So he remained in limbo until around 2003, when he resurfaced as a minor foe of the Green Arrow. It was shown that, as I said, Catman had become a pathetic, overweight loser, looked down upon by other villains, and defeated by the Green Arrow without any real effort. Right?
One punch.
Just beat the shit out of a man in a bathrobe, right?
We've all been there.
His hair had been dyed black, which he thought made him look tougher. See, that's face you have now, which that's the face everyone had, right?
I get you.
And not only was he still hitting his girlfriends, but apparently he wore his old costume under his regular clothes, just in case.
Oh, that's real sad.
At one point, over an old grudge, Mansour Mala sent Warp to abduct Blake, the implication being that he had met a rather grisly end as Mala's dinner. Blake alluded to this during events of the Villains United, which I don't know what that is. You know you've hit rock bottom when a monkey and a Frenchman don't consider you worth killing, he said.
Fuck.
So nobody...
Bit racist.
No, okay, yeah, look, it was 2003. No, so the thing about this is, literally all the villains have no desire to kill him. They're just like, you're just a piece of trash.
Is like, you're not worth the time.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter, right? So during the events of Villains United, this is during the Secret Six. I'll move on to this because this is where he starts getting cool. So he's down every time. We've seen him like 6 times in about 45 years, and every single time he just gets the shit out of him. And the last time we seen him, he was a big fat man that Green Arrow beat the shit out of.
Yeah, he was, like they say, he was just pitiful.
So during the events of Villains United, Catman resurfaced, and people are like, he's a joke. But it was revealed that actually Catman had gone back to his roots in an attempt to remake himself as a man. After a failed attempt at suicide, he returned to Africa and began living with a pride of lions. He lost weight and regained his sense of self-worth and fighting skills, becoming even more than a warrior than he had previously ever been. This perfect existence, however, will be shattered by the arrival of recruiters from the Secret Society of Supervillains, who are attempting to unite all of Earth's supervillains under their control. So this group of villains turn up and they're like, they turn up and they're just kind of like, do you want to join our crew?
Yeah.
We can make loads of money. Catman was one of the very few villains who refused, and it was embarrassing to have a nobody like Catman refuse them. So they were completely just like, well, fuck you.
Yeah.
That dickhead.
But other people were like, listen, Catman didn't join him.
Yeah.
He would have.
And so what he did was, he would have joined them probably when he was like down in his luck.
Yeah.
He would have been delighted with any sort of contact. But he's gone back to his roots. He's lived with lions for like 6 months in the comic books.
Yeah.
And now he's built to like a tank again. And he's just won. He's back to...
He's just himself.
He's like literally the best he's ever been at this point. And he wants to do good.
Okay.
This is where he gets interesting, because he wants to turn his life around and become a better man. So, as I said, they were embarrassed that the Catman refused him. They slaughtered his entire family of lions because he refused to join their villain group.
Jesus.
Right? So he literally just got back on his feet, and now they've killed his whole
family,
all of his lions. It was later revealed that although Catman had thought Deathstroke had done the job under orders of Lex Luthor, it had actually been Deadshot under orders from Mockingbird to coerce Catman into joining his team. Catman vowed revenge against the Society, which you would.
Fair.
And was subsequently recruited into the Secret Six. Together, the Secret Six waged war against the Society. This is two evil groups going at it.
Right, but it's serving Catman's goals.
Yeah, but one of them killed all of his lions, so he joins the other one.
Yeah, fair.
So he's under but Mockingbird is the one who runs the Secret Six, and he's like, he actually, as I said, got Deadshot to kill all the lions so Catman would join.
Right.
So, like, even they're kind of just looking down on, like, he'll join, like, he's dumb. We'll just trick him into doing this. Because they've heard that he's now gotten really fit and like, is in peak physical condition. But Deadshot would later apologise, and Catman actually forgave him eventually for the death, because he's like, you just got paid. It's Mockingbird that's the problem. They kicked the shit out of Mockingbird.
Yeah.
So Gail Simone is the writer that actually changed Catman completely. He has now achieved a new level of fame. Portrayed as a cunning warrior with a sense of honour, the character is now a potent anti-hero. He's depicted with physical abilities that allowed him to fight even the best fighters to a standstill. He's different from most other villains in the sense that he has noble and heroic qualities. While Cheshire notes that Blake behaves more like a hero than a villain, he sees heroes such as the Justice League as being arrogant and abusive of their power. So why he's interesting is because he's seen both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
He's been beaten by superheroes all of his life, but he also hates supervillains.
Yeah, okay. I like that, because he sees superheroes like, they never even tried to get me to turn good.
No.
They just beat the shit out of me when I wasn't really even a threat.
No. And then the villains are just dicks. And he doesn't want to do any bad stuff anymore. Like, he's completely turned his whole life around. He had like a moment with Thor in Endgame where he was just at the
lowest he could possibly be.
And he became better. And just as he was getting better, he lived with the lions. He became like peak physical condition. He became peak him.
Yeah. And
then they killed all of his lions like the villains did. So he doesn't trust either side. So this is where he gets interesting. He started as a Joe character in 1963 and has now become like this guy that's in between the lines of the two of them.
Yeah.
That is actually an incredible fighter, an incredible tactician.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's proper growth for a character.
That's what I mean.
And it's not like it's done in a lot of ways where, like in the Golden Age, they just take the character's name and then they remake him.
Yeah.
Like, it's the same character.
You see him go through all the stages
of
like, he's like, I'll take over Gotham, and then he gets the shit kicked out of him several times.
Yeah.
Then he reappears in the 90s and Green Arrow kicks the shit out of him.
Yeah. And now he's back.
And then he was like, if I can't even, like, I think he just retires after the first few times with Batman. And then he goes off and just becomes a couch potato, as I said.
Yeah.
Gets real fat, just becomes so down in his luck, just is living by himself in this shitty place.
Hits rock bottom.
And he doesn't want anyone, and Green Arrow just comes across him and kicks the shit out of him. And so then he's like, right, goes back to live with the lions. And then he turns down the villain Enterprise because he's finally turned his life, and they kill everyone he loves.
Yeah, he would be quite happy to just stay with the lions.
Yeah, so his abilities, he actually has genius level intellect.
Jesus.
Right? Hand to hand combat advanced. He has tracking and weaponry, because you forget he's also a master hunter, because he grew up as a master hunter at the very start.
Yeah.
Right? So he's like Craven the Hunter,
but cooler.
But he's Kraven the Hunter and Batman combined.
That's a dangerous man.
Yeah. And he hates both sides.
Yeah.
So if you can get him on your side, you normally win. His cat suit, Thomas Blake's suit, is made of a cloth belonging to a South Sea cat cult. It has some magical properties. Now, I think they've changed that recently. They got rid of it. But that was the original purpose. He has enhanced senses. So the wearer of the suit can sense danger before it occurs. Cool. Bit of Spider-Man in there.
Yeah.
The wearer of the suit can come back to life 9 times with the resurrection.
That's still crazy to me.
He has a Catmobile. He used to have a Catmobile back in the day. I don't think he has it anymore. The Catarang. On Earth 1, Thomas Blake used the equivalent of a Batarang. Painted in red, it has several spikes, represents a cat's claw. Although this character was originally introduced during DC's Earth 1 era, their existence following the events of the 1985-86 Crisis on Infinite Earths remains intact. However, some elements of the character's pre-crisis history may have been altered. But he's actually one of the only few Joe characters that just kept living.
Yeah, just continued to be themselves.
I hope I've kind of done him justice, because there's a lot to go through, but at the same time, I think you have to read the comics to understand it's the change in mindset of the readers. That is like, he's a joke, and then you see him slowly
become a serious, contender.
Slowly becoming, and you believe it. It's a believable change.
Yeah, he didn't just rock up one day and be cool. And
he now has loads of respect. And if you Google Catman, there's loads of pages Catman's my favourite character. I love Catman because he's so deep.
He sounds more interesting than Batman.
Yeah, he has a way cooler backstory than a lot of heroes.
Yeah. And he's lived, like you say, he's seen both sides.
And he has principles.
Yeah.
As he said, he's heroes never did anything for me, but villains have also never done anything for me. And I can do good in the world, but I don't need to join a fucking team.
Yeah.
I can just do my own thing.
Yeah, I'm just going to do what I think is right.
Yeah. So that's my Hero Zero on Catman.
Love it.
I hope I did okay.
That was a great report, Conor. Great character, too.
Thank you.
No Madame Fatal.
No Madame Fatal. Madame Fatal.
Madame Fatal.
Madame Fatal, where she is. I'm going to do the Nightwing report.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will be extra long, by the way.
Yeah, probably. Strap in.
I'm going to do 52.
52.
So that is the year. That's the year annual
of Hero Zero.
Of the show.
Yeah.
And also it's just represents the new 52, which was given to me by Ed Ball, one of our Patreons.
One of our delightful patrons over on Patreon.
Fair play to him.
Yeah, fair play to you all, lads.
So go on, do you want to take us out there, Shaun?
Yeah, thanks for listening to this episode of Hero Zero. We'll be back on Monday with an episode of Movie Mondays, Wednesday with Weird News Wednesday, and Friday with another Hero Zero. It'll be my week next week, so it's going to be Marvel.
I'm sure it's going to be marvellous.
Oh, very good. Mm-hmm. Very good, Conor.
Mm-hmm. Shut the fuck up.
If you'd like to support the show, we have a Patreon. It's linked in the description, or it's patreon.com/Heroes for Hire podcast. You can suggest topics for Hero Zero on there. You can send them to us on the email, heroesforhire_@outlook.com.
On Instagram, on Twitter?
Instagram and Twitter, at Heroes for Hire Pod on Twitter, Heroes for Hire Podcast on Instagram.
Yes.
And just, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're smart enough.
You're a smart person.
Yeah, come on now. Maybe not you, but you're a smart person, but not you.
Not you, certainly not you.
Not you, but you. Okay?
The best way you can support the show is by telling one human being that we exist.
Yay!
And I think that's it for this week.
I think that's it.
I'll see you next week.
Why you sound so confused? I think I'll see you next week.
Look, I'd like to be invited back.
Maybe. I might invite you back.
Thanks very much.
So I've been Conor.
I'm Shaun.
I'll see you next week, guys.
Bye.
Bye.